Today is August 21st, 2018. Welcome to First Cup. My name's Jeremy Lesniak, and this is my first cup of coffee. I slept like crap last night. Like terribly. Like it got to 1 o'clock and then I was done sleeping for hours. I rarely have a hard time sleeping. I have no idea why. What happened last night? Oh, it's nice and cool. I changed the sheets. I gotta say, clean sheet day is like the best day. I don't know if you feel that way, but I love clean sheet day. It's pretty great. Coffee. I've really contemplated the benefit in me being more awake when I start this show by having a cup of coffee ahead of time versus the complete fraud that would turn me into. So I'm going to remain waking up on the air with a cup of coffee. I did almost no Whistlekick work yesterday. I had to. So most people know I have a part-time job. It's fun. Pays most of my personal expenses. I get to practice being an employee, which by extension makes me better as an employer. And just the way some things are shaken out with me taking a little bit of time off, I worked yesterday. And it was good. It was fun, but it just meant no Whistlekick stuff. So there's not a lot of Whistlekick to talk about. Catching up today. Got an interview today. Oh, actually, dropped a great interview yesterday. Did I even do this show yesterday? I don't remember. That's how poorly I slept. I can't tell. I'm sure I did. Yesterday's episode with the Teapot Monk, Paul Reed. I'm sure I didn't talk about that. But that's a great episode. People should check that out if you haven't. Got a lot of wonderful feedback already. But one of the things I thought I would mention, and there's this Aristotle quote that keeps coming up, and I've certainly heard it before. It's not new. It's definitely not new, but it's popping up in like all these books that I'm reading right now, and it's the excellence quote. Hold on. How's it go? We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is an act, not a habit. Oh, man. How does that go? All right, hold on. We're going to look that up. Because I'm going to get it right. Because I'm clearly not awake. Oh, just turn it off. This is the tablet I use to run the TV. We Google. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. There we go. This whole idea of practicing excellence, and it's something that a lot of martial arts schools encourage, they teach, and honestly, a lot don't. The more time we spend doing things the best possible way, yeah, it takes more time, but we become more ingrained to that methodology, that work, that practice, whatever it is. And it doesn't matter whether it's physical practice or academic practice, whatever it is. In the context of martial arts, you'll see schools that really drill hard on great basics. And they end up having great forms and good sparring, and everything else is just at a higher level because they're holding things to a higher standard. People tend to grow or expand to the bowl that they're put in. People are like goldfish in that way. If you expect a lot of people, they'll deliver. If you expect a little of people, they'll deliver. So why not expect a lot? Why not hold yourself to a higher standard? There's a reason our slogan is never settle. Because I refuse to. And yes, there are times where compromise would be easier, like most of them. But you don't do big stuff by compromising on what's important to you. The downside towards driving towards excellence is that it doesn't, you don't have a lot of space left over. It takes more time, it takes more thought, it takes more energy. So you have to be choosy about it. For example, right now, I'm focused on Whistlekick and growing Whistlekick. And while I try to maintain a social life and I try to maintain, what else do I try to maintain? My fitness, a number of other things. They're all secondary. They all come after. Doesn't mean it's 100% and then if there's anything left over, but it means that there's a pretty big gap in the priorities. It's like Whistlekick, everything else. And I'm okay with that. So, most of the time I'm okay with that. But yeah, overall I'm okay with that. What else can I tell you? Sales are up. That's pretty cool. I have a bajillion emails to write. Like maybe a bajillion and a half. So many emails. I look forward to the day where we do something instead of email. I don't know what that is. Probably nothing. Because how long did we send letters? We sent letters forever until we could send electronic letters. I don't want anybody sending me their thoughts into my brain. So that's not an option. Man, that's good coffee. I've recently moved away from the dark roasts. This is Vermont Coffee Company medium roast, which I actually like better. So I've shared on the air before. Oh, there's my eyeball. This is how I make my coffee in the morning. It's a tea steeper. I put coffee grounds in it, and I soak it in my hot water. Because it's easy. It's easy to compost. Michael's writing in. He loves medium roast. Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. And when I'm tired, it's hard to screw up making coffee like that. Makes one cup at a time. It's okay. I actually use a Keurig K-cup machine for the hot water, but I don't buy K-cups because they're really wasteful. They're so convenient, but they're pretty wasteful. Yeah. It's okay. So how do you get to excellence? Let's say you heard me drop that Aristotle quote and you're like, yeah, I hear it, I get it, but how do I start? You pick one thing. Pick the thing that you are most passionate about, that you can step it up on, and you start there. And you figure out what the bar for excellence is, and you get there, and you maintain it, and you move on to the next thing. One of the most common comments or pieces of feedback I get around Whistlekick is, how do I have time for all these things? In a sense, I don't. But in another sense, I'm driving for excellence. And that requires sacrifice. That requires an imbalanced life, the way some might see it. The fact that I wake up and 6:30 in the morning, I'm sitting here in my bathrobe talking to you, drinking my cup of coffee. I'm looking for opportunities to move this forward. We could have a long conversation about why I'm doing this show from the business perspective, but I don't know that it matters. Mostly it helps me frame my day And it gives me another opportunity to connect with people who hopefully are interested in what we do. So that's my challenge to you today. Find something that you can be more excellent at. Maybe you're going to be more excellent at writing reports at work, or playing with your kids, or because I can't resist making the third thing in a string of three things a joke, watching Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. All right, I'm out of time. I'm going to finish this cup of coffee and start working on my bajillion and a half emails. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.